So, welcome to RPG Renegades, and we're playing City of Mist. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoy it. We are, I forgot to check, on episode 9.
9.
Is that right?
Wow.
9. We reached 9. I think we've broken a record. So we've reached episode 9, and last episode we had a cliffhanger. Raj, Sam and Vinzer had a kind of encounter, almost a fight, but not quite, with this large, tall guy. His name, they have discovered, is actually Daniel. What is his name? Where's my notes?
Kane.
Daniel Kane, thank you. But he had a nickname that they were following him under this nickname of Leroy. So they've now discovered from coming into his apartment, which he had some security measures, including the shutter and a bridge that kind of collapsed. Through some magical powers of Raj, they got in through a door in the wall. They also got shot at, but the door did anyway. They've been investigating. They found some clues, including a tablet, quite a high-tech, sturdy-looking tablet, a little note, some evidence that Daniel is actually a lecturer at the college, or at least somehow involved, and he's also involved in the philosophy club. Vinzer calls his dog. Tell us what happened with the dog, and we'll just move into what happened with Raj then. You summoned a dog from the shadows, is that right?
Mm-hmm. I had summoned my dog from the shadows. As per the previous episode, I believe I used him to put some distance between me and him when I was trying to jump out of the trunk. But I called him back as we're searching the apartment, because we are not finding any sign of him. And I am trying to get Cleo, my shadow dog, to sniff out any traces of the guy, not really knowing exactly what his scent is. At least we're looking for somebody who's not like among us.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of tell Cleo, like, see if you can find anyone other than the three of us in this room right now.
Yeah. And then the strange thing happens as Raj sat down in a chair a moment before. There was 3 of you in the room, and then there was only 2 of you in the room. Because when you looked up, the dog began to move towards where Raj was kind of sniffing around there, and he was gone. So I want to ask you 2 guys, 2 men and their dog, what do you want to do? You've got a missing potential enemy, or at least somebody that you can get information out of. You've now got a missing Raj and an empty apartment. The last place you saw Raj was sitting in a chair.
I just can't help. I'm speaking to Vinzer. I just can't help but wonder if this is what happens to Raj on, like, is this what he talks about, where he just suddenly, like, for all I know, he's up on top of the bank building again. Like, is this normal?
Sam, I'm not gonna lie to you. Before actually seeing the fact that he's gone, I honestly thought he may be dabbling a little paraphernalia. Yes, maybe some drugs or something like that. I don't know. I thought maybe this is all like a mental thing for him, but like, he's not here. And
yet, the coincidence of the guy that we were just chasing is also not here. So that just seems, I can't wrap my head around this.
Maybe Raj solved all our problems and grabbed the guy, and he's now threatening him by holding him over the edge of this bank that he seems to be reappearing on.
Oh,
Maybe this is like a super hardcore interrogation. I didn't think Raj was capable of it personally.
it's not the chair, is it? It's not like.
Well, if it is, I'm not sitting in it.
I'm just gonna look around the apartment for like a pillow or something I can just lift up easily and just put it down on the chair and see what happens.
Okay, so there's a settee, couch, and things. So there's lots of pillows and that there. Things. There's lamps and ornaments and things you could put on the chair. There's a big sign with an arrow. It says "escape route" down here. No, there's not. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff lying about. If you want to put something on the chair. Your dog, Vinzer, is wandering around the chair like as if it's sniffing for Raj or something like that. Or its nose is up in the air and you're hearing, I don't know if anyone else is, but you're hearing the kind of sound of sniffing as if it's picking up some scent.
I remember you actually did mention that it smelled like fresh air, like coastal air or something.
Yes, that's right.
Cleo, what's going on? Did you find anything?
It's around it's kind of making noises around the chair and like it's holding. You never know how in a dog picks up a scent up there, just around, and its nose is kind of up in the air as if it's smelling something.
He seems to find something there, but I mean,
and it's right where. It's weird because that comfy chair, it's one of these big comfy seats, and it's sitting opposite the wall. There's only like a few yards between that and the wall, and there's a picture up in the wall. So obviously it looks like that's where he sits and relaxes or something like that. Because you've got a beautiful view over the city. So obviously it's not for looking out over the city, but it's like a kind of chill out corner, I feel like,
you want to try the pillow trick? I mean,
yeah, I'll
anything.
Something small or a bowl of fruit or something that's sitting there.
Right, okay, take a bowl of fruit. Do you want to roll face danger?
What is this, a model home?
Who doesn't have a bowl of fruit laying around in a house like this? Face danger? What is that again? That is when you use your abilities to avoid an incoming hit.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's a good one. I'll let you tag that.
No, that's the description of the move.
All right, okay.
Endure harm, resist a malign influence. Just for putting a bowl of fruit on the chair? Oh, boy.
And pineapples are dangerous.
Sure, I'll roll. Although I don't know if I really should tag anything.
Don't tag anything. Just give it a bare roll.
I'm not really expecting anything to happen. 5.
Okay, so disaster ensues, right? So you don't maybe touch the seat because you're kind of said you're dropping the bowl on it. Is that right? So as you drop the bowl, it tips over, rolls onto the floor, and all the fruit's all over the floor. Disaster. Nothing else happens.
Look at that, Sam. Now you just made a mess.
Somebody's going to have to clean that up.
Are you going to clean that up, Sam?
It's not my apartment. I'm a guest.
With a big hole in the wall.
I'm a guest.
You guys are the best group of superheroes I've ever met in my life, I'm telling you. So you're going to tidy your mess up, Sam?
Halfway. Like
okay.
The fruit that rolled under the couch.
Yeah,
it's going to have to stay there.
And like maybe 6 weeks' time, a cleaner might come in and find it or something like that.
Oh, like where's that coming from?
Okay, I'll shall we say you just pick up, the bowl because it's a glass bowl and you don't want to be kicking it about. And when you bend down to get the bowl, you notice that little side table. There's a little plastic, kind of greenish plastic container with a little clip on it. Like it's all plastic, but it's an unusual little thing just sitting on the table. And there's a couple of books and papers and stuff. There's a philosophy book there and some bits and pieces, but there's just a little strange little box.
Like a liquid?
No, it's got something. You can see something inside it, but you can't really. It's not clear, but it's kind of semi opaque or something like that. It looks like a little pillbox or something along that line.
Do you know anything about that new drug that's gone around, Vinzer? Is this one of those? Is that new drug stuff that I got?
It's just what we heard about at the college when Raj was talking to that guy.
Spiral dust.
They put it in their eyes or something like that?
Yeah, come to think of it, I brought that up to Bones, right? Was Bones?
Yes, yeah. He'd heard about it, spiral dust, but he said it was hard to get, and he said it was kind of high end. It was what he heard was it was really expensive stuff. So it wasn't really, it wasn't like a street drug, although it might be the next street drug, you know.
Mm. I'll pick up the pillbox, but like as I'm picking it up, I'm telling Sam like I wouldn't know. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry.
Oh, that's some bagels burning.
Sorry, my phone was going off. But like as I'm picking it up, I'm telling Sam just like, well, I mean, it could be, but I've never seen what it looks like, so I couldn't tell you.
So did you open it up?
Sure, I'll open it up.
Okay,
Face
so
danger.
Yeah. Do you want to hit it with all you've got? See if you're strong enough.
Status: you're now addicted.
So there's a little clip. You guys are so cautious, it's unbelievable. Right, so there's a little clip in the side and you just unclip it. It's just plastic. It's all plastic.
Mm.
It's very, very medical looking, you know, just the kind of colour of it and everything. And you open it up and there's 6 little spaces, right? And each of the space, apart from one, has a capsule in it. And if you look at one, you can just see 25 at the side of it, so 25 milligram.
Mm.
So, and you can see there's like powder inside the capsule, but there's one missing. So maybe Raj did. Maybe he's had pills all along.
I take the pillbox and I point it at the empty compartment. Now I'm like, see, I told you. I might be on something. World class detective right here.
The guy who only drinks apple juice. I'm not so sure.
I mean, how else do you explain being teleported to a building and rooftop and like back in a second? Like, how else do you explain that?
Yeah, I can't.
So I want to say something else while this is going on. Sam, while he's messing about with that pillbox, you were looking at kind of just want to revisit that. You were looking at the tablet, and it came up when you tried to kind of press a button on it. It came up, you know, that you had to fingerprint ID. And so while he was messing about there, you were having another look at it, and you tried just to see what the response would be. You know, you tried a couple of times, and maybe on the third attempt, you know, maybe you're trying different fingers or something, just messing about with it, because there's no other buttons on it. On the third attempt, at the top of the pad where there's normally a camera, a little red blink at the top.
No.
Like 1, 2, 3, and then as if it's just powered off again. Both of you, because you're kind of around Sam as well. You're near where Vinzer is, and you're kind of maybe a wee bit weirded out by this shadow dog, because this is the first time you've really seen that as well. The two of you can smell something like the sea air.
Like an ocean breeze?
Yeah. Very, very light, but you can actually, now that you say that, Vinzer, you feel like, is it your imagination? Is there a breeze in here? And you look up, there's no aircon above you. And you know that the coast isn't that far away from here. You know, it's down that back road where the guys, you know, God knows if the guys are still, you know, there. or if they're falling down the cliff or whatever. But you know, they're sitting on the road over towards the coast. But it's not, you shouldn't really be smelling it where you are here. And I'll say this, you look up to the picture, so you're now standing around about that chair and the dog's still sniffing around, and you look up to the picture. Jef, if you don't mind pulling it up for a minute, we're going to see it in a second anyway, but if you can pull up picture 9 for us. You look up to the picture on the wall, which is clearly what the chair's facing. And you might be kind of losing your mind a little bit, okay? Maybe you're actually, maybe even opening that pillbox, maybe you touch something, Vinzer, you don't know. Like your imagination's just, it's just a bit silly.
Sam, did I accidentally take one of these?
Not that I saw.
But you can see there's actually a little lamp, and it's on just now, the little lamp that kind of shows up, you know, like in any art gallery, you'll have the lamp above a good quality picture. And as you see that scene, you almost imagine there's a breeze coming off there. And then as you look at you see the spiral, like the galaxy. You know, you're absolutely convinced it's an optical illusion, but it looks like that is slowly turning. And then the two of you immediately feel really dizzy. And Raj, I'd like you, if you can, to, if you want to just take that off for us. Raj, if you'd like to share your experience so the guys know what's happening to them too.
Where has that guy gone? My teammates are checking all the rooms of the apartment. Sam is in the office, and Vinzer has summoned some kind of hound that's sniffing about. I feel distracted, confused. We should have been shot. So we could have been shot. I try and quiet myself. I need to ignore all this activity and be still. I take deep breaths and slow my pace as I walk around the apartment. Is there fresh air in here? I don't see any air conditioner about. And hold on, it's like a light, gentle breeze in my face, almost imperceptible. Or is it just my imagination? I see a large, comfortable chair and sit down on it. This chair is facing the wall. My eyes are drawn ever so slightly upwards to a painting in a frame with a small light above it. I get a strange feeling that this is where he sits. The guy we followed here. It's his thinking place, a place of contemplation. That breeze, is it stronger? I smell the sea air. The painting draws my eyes to it. A nighttime scene, overlooking a beach in deep blues, darker greens and deep purples. A sharp, rocky outcrop with the waves crashing in. I can hear the waves. I reach up and touch my face. Is a touch of spray, moisture. In the picture above the rocks is a bright spiral galaxy. Slowly, very slowly spinning. I feel disorientated, dizzy, even sitting down in this chair. Am I standing or sitting? I don't know now. My eyes have closed naturally, just for a moment, maybe to steady myself. Immediately, wind and sea spray is blowing in my face. I stagger back a bit. Crunching under my feet, I look down. Sand. Lots of sand, to my right and to my left. The deep blue sky above me. I'm standing on that dark beach. It's in the night. It's in the dark, and the colours are deep, but so vivid. I'm in the picture. The rocky outcrop rises down the shore to my left, and that ominous, no, wondrous, and yet perhaps very dangerous fractal galaxy, as if it's hovering above that ridge. It reminds me of something. It turns magically, majestically. And in the darkness, I can see footprints in the sand.
So you guys are standing looking at a picture, and you feel that sway in the wind. And as that galaxy shifted, it was almost like, that hypnotic design, when it spins the spiral, it just like pulls your attention in. And for like 2 seconds, you notice there's a figure standing on the beach. In fact, it looks like a dark shape with something on his head, maybe a turban. And you kind of feel like you're going to pass out, like you've had too much to drink or something like that, and you feel like you're falling back. And in fact, you do fall back, both of you, and you land in something kind of solid, but you feel crunching under you. And when you open your eyes, Raj is standing a little bit further down the beach, walking around, looking at the ground. And this place is real, and you're in it. And you dust yourself off and stand up. It's like a midnight sky, but the colours are phenomenal in this place. It seems like another world. Feels like another world. What do you want to do?
You said it was like crunching underneath us?
Yeah, it's kind of like not like a soft sand, like it's kind of
like a really firm sand.
Yeah, maybe some tiny broken shell and things like that, and sand as well.
Like feeling feeling like this is just so surreal. As I'm like looking around, I like grab at the sand and like let the sand like go through my fingers and like maybe like kind of cut myself a little bit on one of the shells and stuff.
It's real. It's not like, moving in the shadows where there's that semi, realness, but this is, you feel it. It's real.
I can physically feel the cut and everything.
Yeah.
So like I kind of wince a little bit and I'm like,
I mean, it's not dangerous, the sand's not dangerous. It's just,
But yeah, but I mean, like I'll just cut my finger on a shell. I mean, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. Sam, what the hell?
Raj, is this you? Did you do this?
What? Oh, no. How did you get here?
I thought you did this.
I don't think I did it. I was sitting in the chair looking at the picture, and sort of everything started spinning, and then I was here. I think this is where that guy might have gone, but I also have an operating theory that this might possibly be some sort of trap.
A trap, as in you don't know how to get us out of here?
I don't even know how I got in here. I just sort of was in here. I'm not even entirely sure where here is. I mean, I don't know whether we're in the painting or in the place the painting depicts or what. But no, I can assure you that I didn't do this.
Guys, as Raj is talking to you, you can't help but your eyes be drawn to this galaxy because it's very slowly, but slightly perceptible, this rotation. You know, you've never seen anything like it. I mean, it is pretty mind blowing. You know, you have come on a trip into a painting.
Vinzer starts rubbing his eyes and realizes he hears the rattle of the box still in his hand, and he's like, oh, "Wait a second, Raj, did you take one of these?"
No, I don't do things like that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, all right. I'll drop it. I just wanted to make sure, man. Like, because this is. Oh, I can't even describe this. What is this?
As you're looking around, there's a sudden break in the sky, and these yellows and golden and orange hues are kind of streaking across the sky. Right now, you're seeing a sunrise, but it seems to be happening quite fast, and the colours are moving like it's crazy. This is like the best sunrise you've ever seen.
I think I know the answer to this already, but I'm going to ask anyway, because it does it have a painterly look to it, or like Vinzer just picked up sand, so everything is real, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, but there's something about the vividness of the colours. Either you're on drugs, or there's something, you know. You would almost think, you know, you look down and even at the sand and some of the pebbles, did somebody paint that? I mean, it doesn't look fake, it's real, but the actual colours and shifts in colours and this sunset, you have never seen anything like this. Perhaps in one of the best paintings you've ever seen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it is real.
Does Bob Ross exist in the City of Mist?
He's got to be a myth.
What would you like in this
Right?
world? Would you like a cabin in the woods?
I feel like that would be like a mythos, was be like Bob Ross, and he just like paints reality.
That's awesome. I like that.
So Raj, you see that these footprints that you were following in the night, and it's now becoming morning. You see that they carry on quite a bit and then turn up to the right. And so where you are, you're on the beach, and the beach carries all the way to that rocky outcrop that you see, right? And even though it's now the light's breaking in, you can still see that galaxy kind of fainter now, kind of slightly disappearing into the background, into the daylight. But you see on your right-hand side on the beach, there's, you know, kind of coastal grass, growing long grass. And then beyond that, there's some thicker plants, and there's palm trees. You're not sure, but you might see a little bit of smoke coming above from the trees somewhere. A little
I think we should follow these footprints. I'm not, as I say, I'm not entirely sure where we are, but I think this is where he has gone.
Vinzer just said about getting out of here is like right in my mind. Like, I'm looking around trying to figure out how are we going to get out of here. But I'm following Raj too.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, by the way. It says my connection is unstable there. So,
I'm getting similar warnings. So I wonder if it's might be weather related because we've got. I know we've got a yellow weather warning this weekend in Scotland, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a countrywide issue. Oh dear.
Maybe just jumping through galaxies, something like that.
It could be that.
So I'll say you don't even need to do an investigate roll, guys, right? You can follow those footprints until the grass, because it turns up to the right and you come into the grass. You can see maybe, it's hard to tell when you're looking at the tops of trees and things like that, but not too far away, there looks like a little wisp of smoke, like a little chimney smoke, that kind of thing, or a campfire, something along that line.
Sam, could you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
And I just sort of point at a nearby palm tree or something. Doesn't really matter what. Could you shoot an arrow at that palm tree?
I can try.
I wouldn't make you roll. I'll let you hit it free of charge.
All right. Yes.
Right into the tree.
Well, that answers that question. I was just wondering whether our powers work here.
Oh, well.
So I guess they do.
I'll say that
Good to know before we walk into possible danger.
Is Cleo?
No, Cleo's disappeared. Do you end up asking that out loud, like to Vinzer?
Yeah, I'll just
because I honestly
around, like suddenly realize it, look around and say, "Where's Cleo?"
I think it's not until you say something that Vinzer even realizes that Cleo's not with us. I kind of I was like, wait a second, and I do like a little sharp whistle to call for Cleo.
You hear its bark.
I hear its bark, but I don't see it.
Yeah, it's scampering around. It's scampering around the fringes of the trees where the shadows are. Right now, you've realised that it's bright daylight now. Right now,
Okay.
Like the sun is right. It should probably be about 11 o'clock in the morning. About 20 minutes has maybe passed.
So I hear its bark, and
yeah, you can call it over.
How I had described it before was like when it's hanging out in the shadows, all you see are its eyes. If I see the shadow of the tree, do I see its eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just Vinzer is just making sure that that he's able to call on the shadows here, since he's not so sure.
You might be mistaken, but it might be a trick of the light because the thing, you've had this dramatic sunrise and things like that. But it's almost like you see a sheen on it. Do you know, have you ever seen a bird that's jet black, but it's got a sheen to it, it like reflects off it. So it's maybe a green sheen or a purple sheen, like a crow, something like a crow or a magpie or something. You can kind of see a sheen running down the dog, like colours.
Okay.
Sorry.
So he'll say, "Oh well, he's over there." Like, Cleo, come here, and I'll call him over.
Mm-hmm. Comes over.
Okay.
It's as if there's something running through the shadow in it. Like it's different. It's different to like normal. The dog seems the same, but there's a different property about it. It's slightly strange. It's actually quite cool looking, because you're seeing different colours kind of flashing through it when it moves.
I've never seen it like this though. Like something's different, but
It's kind of bouncing about. Seems to be it's running around the beach and that.
Yeah, he's still coming to me and everything. So I mean, I think we're good.
No other buildings or boats or nothing on the horizon.
Why don't you all do an investigate for me? So let's do, unless you've got something like, eagle eyes or, something along that line that just helps you spot stuff randomly, just do a hard roll.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Yep.
Ooh.
I did pretty good. I got an 8.
Okay. Anyone else?
4.
Oh, you're too caught up with what's happening with the dog. I mean, it's interesting. Raj, did you catch anything?
No, I got a 4.
Right, you're obviously busy looking for trying to find the footprints into the grass. Sam, you're sure that as you look towards further up the beach, not where that kind of the wisps of smoke is, but further up, you think you can see like a cave. It looks like a cave, and just before it kind of sets off into the kind of hills and mountains, it looks like there's a cave. So looks like there is a cave up there. It's not super dramatic or anything like that, but that's the only other thing you see is the foliage, the trees. It's almost like the trees are like a border along the edge of, not a wall, but a border, with grasses and things like that. And it's probably a thin border, quite a thin border of trees running along most of the beach, and then it thins out till there's none left at the end where the rocky outcrop is, and that's where it looks like there's a cave. It kind of rises up a little bit before it turns into the kind of high rocky outcrop, and it looks like there's a cave just up a bit.
No, not in the same location as where the smoke's coming from?
No.
So I'll mention it to everybody as well.
I wonder how far we could walk. How far does it go on, do you think?
If you look down, so straight ahead, or the direction that you've kind of been walking along is that rocky outcrop. And if you turn behind you and look all the way back, it looks like it goes as far as you can see, but it's literally just as far as you can see. You don't really see that way. There's not, any kind of, it's not like the rocky outcrop. That's kind of like a feature, really, if you like.
Well, I wonder. My nephew plays those computer games, and I know that sometimes when he's playing those, he gets quite frustrated because he wants to go and keep going out to sea or something, and it just says you are leaving the playable area.
Yeah.
That's quite frustrating for a 10-year-old. Mind you, I don't think a 10-year-old should be playing games like that, which I've told my brother on a number of occasions. I don't think it's a very Sikh thing to do, but there you are. Well, you two, what do you want to do? Shall we go and carry on towards this smoke? Or,
do you have the trail of the footprints? Is that what you're following?
Well, yes, it's getting a bit difficult now, but I think they're heading towards this this smoke.
Yeah, it looks like that kind of direction.
Yeah, I'd say let's go.
Okay, so you
Same.
You start to head through the trees, and this is it's like a bit of paradise,
Times like this when I wish I had a camouflage turban instead of a bright orange one.
You think you hear some birds up in the trees, noises and things like that. Maybe some crickets or things in the grass. And as you carry on, you go through these palm trees. You can see coconuts on the palm trees, and then it's kind of like sand dunes or sandy grassy dunes behind the trees, and it rises, and you can see a little cabin on the rise. and there's an old-fashioned kind of tin chimney, and there's a little wisps of smoke coming out it. You're kind of like, are we actually awake right now? Is this real?
The temptation to go up to that cabin and ask the guy for directions to Darwin Street is almost unbearable.
Yeah, feel free.
He had a shotgun. If our powers work here, I'm pretty sure his shotgun does as well.
But wait, didn't he toss the shotgun out the door?
Oh, he did, yes.
So he should be unarmed.
Well, this has got other guns.
So here's a question. Why would he toss the shotgun out the door?
I can't figure that out.
If he's here, and that's if he is here, then why would he do that?
Maybe he's painted some better weapons.
Bigger and better, yeah.
Yeah, he might have painted a howitzer.
Tommy gun.
You should tread carefully.
Small cabin, like a one-room sort of.
Maybe a 2-room, 3-room cabin, something like that. You approach it. You heading up?
I said we go.
Yeah, I think we've got to. I mean,
You're kind of on the edge of the clearing, and then when you go to that rise, you could do that kind of thing that maybe you would do when you were kids if you were down at the beach, where you're kind of hiding over the dunes or peeking over the dunes, and so you can come up to that rise where that kind of coarse grass is all growing, and you can look in, and it's almost like there's a little area outside. There's a deck chair outside the house. There's a parasol leaning over there, and you can hear somebody whistling inside, and the door's lying half open.
keeping our distance. Can we sort of approach in a way that gives us an opportunity to see through the door a bit?
You could try sneaking around if you want. There are windows in the cabin. And at the top of the windows, there's kind of little kind of shutter things, like old-fashioned kind of wooden things that you open up, and so it's up. So it's open. There's no glass in the window, and so potentially, you could be spotted. You think you see some, movement in there.
I'll whisper kind of quietly to those guys that. Why is he whispering? Was he be that calm and confident? That's more scary to me than the shotgun. What else can he do?
Do you think he expects anyone else to be here, though?
I don't know.
Maybe he's oblivious to the fact that we're here.
Raj, you want to sneak up and see, get a better look?
I'm gonna try and sneak up.
I'll stay in the background, sort of like cover.
If possible, I'd like to tag this with my synchronicity.
Do you want to tag Bright Orange Turban?
in the hope that whatever he's doing. Oh, hang on, sorry, I've just pulled my headphone lead out.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, you were saying that. I was just going to say I'd like to try and tag it with my synchronicity in the hope that I'd be approaching and it'd be like sort of, when I'm out in the open, that would be the moment when he turns around and looks in a cupboard or something, and the cupboard door is impeding his view of where I am at that point, and that kind of thing.
Okay, make the roll and give yourself +2 on top of your synchronicity.
Okay. +2 on top of that?
Yeah.
+3 in all that?
Yep.
Okay. That's 5, 6, 9.
Okay. there's when you go to do what you're doing, you feel like there's something about this right now, this synchronicity. It's like it's super heightened. You feel like anything could happen in here, this place. That's why there was a difference to your dice roll. And I'll say that you think that you've not been seen. And you go, right, so what's your plan? Tell me what you're actually, are you going right kind of to peek in the door or the window? Or?
I'm going up to just catch a glimpse to see who's in there.
You see a tall guy, very tall guy with a ponytail. And he has the same shirt he had on last night when you were in the normal world. But the sleeves are rolled up, and you see it looks like you think you can smell a fry up. You feel, you smell like he's frying something for like breakfast. He's whistling, and then after a minute or two, he stops, and you hear him putting something down. You hear him kind of scraping stuff, and he's kind of looking out the window. And then he's looking up, he's just looking up because it looks like it's approaching midday now. You've been here about 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Are there, did I see any chairs?
Yeah, you can see furniture, yeah.
Is there just like a normal, like a wooden chair or an armchair or something like that?
Yeah. You actually see some wooden, like a kind of kitchen table with a couple of chairs at it. In fact, you know what? I'll say you'll see a wooden table with one chair at it. That's what I'll say.
Okay, that's probably where he's going to sit though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I won't go for the chair thing then. That was going to be a bit too flash.
I mean, there could be other furniture, but that just from where you're seeing, because you're kind of looking at him, he seems to be in a kitchen area. But there might be other furniture in the building.
Okay.
If you want to kind of go round, you can have a wee look if you want.
Yes, I'll do that. Actually, I'm going to...
Okay, well, I'll not make you do another roll. So you carry on sneaking round, and you kind of follow the where the ridge of it rises, to kind of keep down a bit, and you work your way around in a semicircle, and you can see like a kind of wicker two-seater with kind of comfy cushions on it on the other side.
Okay. I'm going to try something now.
Okay.
This could end very badly. I'm going to attempt to teleport myself into that room, so I'm sitting on that wicker chair.
What would you like to tag?
Teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go anywhere new because I've been around now and I've scoped it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done that. I'm not going to tag reality warping because I think that could get very dangerous in here. But I'm just going to I'm just going to teleport myself onto that seat and just literally just wait for him to notice me.
Okay. I want you to tag reality warping because you can't help it.
Okay. There's no conscious control as well.
Yep, tag that as well.
So that's 2. That's +4 then.
Is there a weakness?
Yeah, no conscious control. I could sort of warp in there and...
Is there no conscious control a weakness then?
Yes.
So that's a -1 then. But actually, in this case, it's a +1.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh.
+4. 8. That's a total of 12.
Okay. So we didn't actually say what move this was, did we? So we're calling this up, I guess, a change the game, right?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Or are you using this as a sneak?
No, I'm changing the game at this point. That's definitely what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm blinking in.
You tell me how you want it to happen, what happens, and I'm going to add some stuff to that as well.
Okay. Assuming that I can see him slightly from where I am, I'm going to wait until he turns his back to me, to where the chair is, and then I'm just going to blink into it. I'm going to quickly pick up any sort of book or magazine nearby.
Yeah.
And then look like I'm sort of nonchalantly leafing through it, but while sort of keeping an eye on him.
So
just wait for him to notice me.
He's finishing putting everything on his plate. His back's to you. You're kind of off to his right-hand side. In front of you is the kitchen area. He's standing slightly to the right, and on his left or behind him is the table in the one chair. And so he turns round to put the stuff on the table, and he's like, "Whoa!" and throws his stuff up. This plate clatters. He stumbles back and knocks the chair over and kind of half lands on the table. And he's like, his eyes are like, he's like, who?
Are you all right?
He stumbles so badly he ends up on his backside. It seems like he's spending his life meeting you guys falling over,
Oh, I'm going to walk over and help him up.
He starts crawling out the door backwards, kind of screeching a bit.
That's all right. Calm down. I just wanted to talk to you.
He's like, how did you get in here?
I've absolutely no idea.
You're the guy on my driveway.
I am. I was. And now I'm here, and I'm a little bit confused by that. Where is here?
He's literally like in shock. He says,
could I do something really flash with reality warping?
If you want.
And tear space and time.
I'll tell you, before you do that, I'll tell you as you maybe kind of glance, there was something funny about the chair when you got up off the chair. And maybe you glance back and it looks like something out of Salvador Dali painting, where it's kind of half melted, but not actually melted, but the wood and the fabrics changed its shape and it's kind of down on the floor.
It's changed its shape from when I was sitting on it.
Yeah. What is it you're thinking of doing?
Well, what I'd like to do is just sort of gesture at the plate and the food that's fallen on the floor.
Can you say abracadabra?
Well, I said, Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. Puff poof. And I just want to make it sort of, I'm not trying to sort of telekinetically levitate it and put it back on the table.
Yeah.
But to actually reverse it in time.
I'll say I'm not even going to ask you to make a roll, Mick. That happens.
Okay, so I'll hand him. I'll put the plate on the table and just say, I'm sorry about that.
He's speechless. He's like, who are you? Who are you?
My name's Raj.
How are you able to get in? He
I've
says,
no idea.
he says,
no idea.
He says you're one of them. And as you look at him, even in the daylight, you can see in his irises and his eyes, it is like crystal blue looking, like a spiral in the irises of his eyes. He says, "You're one of them. You're one of them."
I'm not sure who them are. Why don't you tell me what's going on?
This place was given to me. My friend created it. It was given.
I see. Someone with abilities.
Kind of, but he didn't always have. He's still here though, but he's different. But so this is where I go. The world in the cities bores me to tears.
Yes, I can appreciate that.
So I come here.
Well, I need to talk to you. My friends and I need to talk to you.
He's like, what friends? And he's looking about.
Well, it's I'm just here on my own at the moment, but we do need to talk to you. We just want to know what's going on. We're not after you, and we don't want to harm you. You see, you have to understand. This is very difficult for me to explain to people because it's all very new. With all of us, these abilities have come upon us largely without warning or explanation. And one of the abilities I have is just to...
Wait a minute. What did you do to my chair?
I thought you did that.
You've ruined it. You've ruined my... I'm going to need to get another one. Or make another one.
Well, I'll try and fix it before I leave. I'll have a go.
Your friend isn't that creep that attacked me. He was in the trunk of my car and they had some dog thing jump out the trunk of my car.
Yes, and I think this has been perhaps something of a misunderstanding.
He's looking about.
I have this ability that I just seem to be in the right place at the right time, or perhaps the wrong place at the right time. And I just happened to be passing when that all occurred. I came up your drive because I was hoping to stop things from escalating, but obviously I didn't do that. And it was me that put the door in the side of your house.
Did they send you?
I don't know who they are. It's just we happened to be at the university when some things occurred there.
Yeah, he looks down. When you say that, he looks down and he looks kind of like he just reminded of something that is really a bad scene for him.
Well, it seems to be connected with this drug, and literally we just want to know what's going on. If people are in danger of something like that happening again, we'd like to know. That's all. We're just concerned. I know it sounds trite, but we're just concerned citizens. We're not here to apprehend you. We don't work for anyone. I'm a taxi driver, for goodness sake.
He bursts out laughing.
You know, I'm not a policeman or part of some sort of conspiracy. You know, I'm a taxi driver. My friend runs a bar. Not entirely sure what my other friend does. I think he's a courier of some sort, but we're not here to harm you or fight you. I'm not
entirely sure that we'd know how.
Hold on. So you're a taxi driver, you got a friend with a bar, and another guy works for FedEx, and you've all got powers. Why didn't I get any? I've always wanted them.
We sort of thought that this was your power coming in here. I mean, are you
Well,
saying?
kind of, but that's because of the spiral dust.
Well, now what is? Would you mind if I called my friends in? I can assure you, no one's going to try and injure you or anything.
He better not have that dog though.
One of them, I'll make sure he doesn't bring the dog in with him, and I think one of them might possibly eat your food. But why don't you get started on your meal, and I'll go and bring them in, and I give you my word that we're not going to do anything aggressive or untoward.
So he moves, picks up the wooden chair, moves it against the wall, so he's kind of like at a safe angle, and kind of sits with his plate of food in front of him, kind of picking it bits and pieces.
Okay, I'm going to go out to where the other two are hiding, and
do you give them a big smile and a wave and say, "Come on"?
Yes, I'll just everything's all right. He's going to explain what's going on. I've given him my word that we're not going to attack him. This seems to have been a bit of a misunderstanding. At least that's I think what he's trying to convince me of. But well, let's see. I mean, we're in some sort of, I don't know what this is. So the ball's very much in his court. So I think we should just try and be reasonable about this.
Okay, guys. So
I'm such a grown-up. It's great. I couldn't hold it in anymore.
So I take it you guys just head up then.
Yeah. I'll join, and I call Cleo over.
Oh, Vinzer. He was rather insistent that you didn't bring your
He's looking out
dog.
the door,
Is it a
and
dog?
he's like, "But I don't even know what that is. But don't let it come here."
What kind of person has a problem with a dog?
It's not a proper dog.
I think you just let her go and play in the shadows or something.
Anyway, you guys attacked me.
Okay, all right, Cleo, go ahead. And then like Cleo goes to like run off, and like when he goes to like run into the shadows rather than like going in all the way and everything like that, like as he's running, he just kind of like dissipates into.
And you see, and amongst the kind of darkness dissipating, you see some little sparkles of colours, flecks of colour. So here we are. The guy's not really eating his breakfast, he's kind of nibbling on a bit of bacon or something like that.
He's pushing it around like a 1970s actor. Pushing it around the plate and occasionally going.
He's like, "There's coffee in the pot if you want some."
I'll decline. I don't consume stimulants. But,
I hope you guys haven't been snooping about my apartment.
Well, I mean, we went in.
Yeah, how did you make those? Oh, right, it doesn't matter. He was just going to ask how you made those doors. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm still not completely sure how I do it myself.
So there's kind of like one seat on the two-seater, and the other seat slightly slopes away because it kind of is melted down towards the floor, and it's a weird shape. The leg on the other side is kind of splayed out. So you've kind of got a couple of chairs between you.
Okay, I don't mind sitting on the floor. Or actually, I might sort of hoist myself up on a countertop in the kitchen.
There's a kind of little what do you call it? Kind of loft ladder style thing, down, and that just goes up to a half, like It's not like in a loft, but it's like an open plan bit where there's a bed up there.
Oh, like a mezzanine.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's very compact. You know, it's quite cute. It's like a
Well,
microphone.
I'll sit on the ladder.
Fair enough.
I'll just sort of perch on the ladder.
It's like, so I'm struggling. Why are you guys here? I mean, why are you following me?
Well, it's mainly to do with this this drug. Really, it seems to be causing lots of trouble, and we wondered what was going on.
Well, it was supposed to be under control, and I kept it under control, but then that kicked off at the college. That was some of. He looks really kind of downcast. He says that there were some of my students, some of my philosophy gang.
And I take it the drug wasn't meant to do that.
No, it's an experiment. But I don't have any option, because if I didn't do it, then I would have been blackmailed, and I would have lost my job, and then I got this, and he just kind of does this, you know, this place. I got this as a reward.
For making the drug.
And no, I don't make it.
You don't make it. You were just
no. He kind of gives a big sigh, and he's like, "You realise this guy that you're talking to is not like the guy that he looked like on the street, you know, with the big long coat and the Stetson hat. You realise he's a pretty ordinary kind of guy, you know." And as he's telling you this stuff, he says, "Look, I used to make my own drugs, and we used to use it at the philosophy club. And I used to sometimes, admit it, I used to sometimes sell it to guys, but I wasn't a dealer. You know, I kept away from. There's far too many mobs in the city now. You know, you'd get yourself kneecapped and, you know, down the river. So it was getting too dangerous anyway, even though I was just using it for myself and my friends, and mostly. I made some money on the side. Okay, I made a fair bit of money on the side, but not a lot. But obviously they found out, and I got some information in my mailbox. I didn't always stay in my condo in the hill. I used to stay in an apartment down the hill, like an ordinary apartment. But then they said that if I worked for them, this was research. If I did what I was told, all I needed to do was take the info from the clients. I would take the info, put it on the tablet. It would be uploaded to wherever, and I get the stuff delivered. I don't know who's providing it, but I know they know all about me, and I know that I'd be finished. So I didn't really have any option. And they said it was a sign. It was research.
So what is it? What does it do?
Well, it does this, and he points to his eye, and, you know, the little kind of bright colours, blue, kind of crystal blue colour in his eye. And you can see, I began to realise there was people in the city like you, and he points at you, Raj, and he says, people like you, because I could see you become aware when you take the drug. So it gives you, it's some of the wildest hallucinations, you know, but you begin to see things. It's very controlled, you know. People only get a certain dose. And
so how did it cause a riot if it's controlled like that?
Well, they must have had too much. I don't know. I just gave them a supply. I got sent. It gets delivered to me every month. So
and what information, what data is it they're harvesting from this?
Well, they want to know about their stats. They want to know who they are, and on the tablet, I think they have other information, because I know that when I log on, the photo of the person's on there, so they've obviously got other information. So they've got all the information on the people that are using it.
And you don't know who these people are you're sending this information to?
No.
Have you ever met any of them?
No, they've never contacted me in person.
So how do they send you your supplies?
It comes by like a courier, like your FedEx guy there.
Oh yes.
I don't work for FedEx.
Oh, all right.
Not legally allowed to say that I work with FedEx.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever it is you work for. I get it a PO box. I collect it at the PO box every month, and I distribute it. And then I was really upset when I saw that some of the kids at the campus were some of the guys that I like to hang out with, and they looked like they were absolutely gone. This has never happened before, so now I don't know what to do, because if I said anything to anybody, well, you guys know now. I don't know what's going to happen now, but if I said something to the authorities, then they'll just spill the beans on me and I'll go to prison for a long time.
I can see that, yes, the situation isn't as straightforward as we thought. And as I say, I'll look at the other two.
I'm going to interrupt and say, before anything else weird happens, are we trapped here? How do we get out of here?
He's thinking. It's like, I don't know how you guys get out of here.
How do you get out of here?
Well, it's connected to my friend, Alan. He made this place. Because I've got a connection to him, and I think that's how I can get in here. Plus, because I don't, I took the spiral dust for a while, but I stopped taking it, and I was told to stop taking it. So maybe now that I know what's happened to some of my buddies at the campus, maybe the reason they told me. But I'm allowed a small dose, and if I struggle to get in here, then if I take that small capsule, I can get in here. It kind of like heightens my awareness again. But I'm stuck. I don't know where to go or what to do now, because you guys are onto it, which who knows, the police could be onto it because they were at the campus. I saw them. And if I don't do the right thing, I'm a dead man anyway. So the only thing I can do is come here.
I can't seem to find the sheet that I've got most of my notes written on.
Mm-hmm.
So could someone remind me of the name of that investigator guy?
It was Lawrence Keaton.
Do you know a man named Keaton?
No. Never heard of him. Is he what is he, one of you guys?
No. We, as I said before, I have this habit of just, I call it synchronicity, but I just seem to be in the, well, you're a philosopher, I'm sure you're familiar with Carl Jung.
Sure.
I just seem to be in the right place at the right time sometimes, and we found ourselves in a nightclub and bumped into this chap who had also been on the campus when that incident took place. And because I'm a taxi driver and I get about a bit, he was asking me to keep an eye out for you. And he gave his name as Keaton, said he was a detective.
His eyes kind of widen a bit. He's like,
I don't think he's a policeman though.
or maybe it's one of them. I don't know what's going on. I just know that I'm in the worst trouble and I don't know how to get out of it now. Now you guys have turned up. What is that crazy dog of yours, dude? I mean, what is that? Is it real?
He's real enough.
Does anybody want some bacon or something? Because there's hash browns there. Bacon. There's a bit of sausage and egg. Yeah.
Oh,
Cleo would have liked some bacon, but you said he wasn't allowed in here.
Over easy. You can have some. I'm not in the mood now. Well, if you want to know more, you should go and see Alan.
Is he here?
He's in the cave.
Wow.
I don't know. I need protect. I would be better just living here now the rest of my life because I think I'm a dead man walking now. Because if they know I've stopped the experiment, all they need to do is they've got all the information on me because they showed me it. They've got photographs of me. They've got photographs of me doing drugs when I used to make my own stuff. They've got, you know. So I'm for prison. Back home.
Where is this tablet of yours?
It's in it. It's back at the house. I don't bring it here because I tried once and I had to get another one. It did something to it.
I wonder if we could find someone who knows about these things, we could possibly try and find some way to see where this information is being sent. I don't know too much about computers myself, but there must be a way of doing that.
Yeah, if you know somebody like that, that would maybe work.
You have no idea who these people are, though.
All I know is they're big. I mean, they're not, they can't be, they don't work like, you know, they're not like the mob. They don't work that way. But they've got information on everything. Every detail. So they must be powerful.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what their reason is? Like, I'm not understanding.
Well, all I know is when I began, they said it was research and they said it was an experiment, and all I know is after taking the spiral dust and after the initial hallucinations, which were wild, I mean, they were wild, man, you know. But after that, it started to change the way my eyes look, and that's why most spiralers wear glasses, shades.
So that's just a side effect that doesn't seem to go away after time?
Yeah, it's permanent, I think. And then what happens is you start seeing things like you guys. Like, everybody in the city is, like, asleep. And I know I sound like a crackhead, right? But everybody in the city is asleep. And you're waking up and you see things in the city that nobody else. I once saw a guy jump off of a roof and land on the ground, like, 8 stories. And nobody else even blinked an eye. They didn't notice it. And I watched this guy and he just strolled to the crowd as if nothing had happened. The city has guys like you in it. And now that, like, my eyes are like this, I'm awake. So I think it's an experiment. Maybe they're trying to make... Were you guys in an experiment? Is that how you got your powers?
For me, it just kind of happened one day. Don't really understand it.
I think they're trying to make something that turns somebody like me into somebody like you. That can be... Otherwise, how can I see you again? How can I see, like you? He points at you again, Raj. you have all sorts of crazy stuff going around your head. It's like a sunlight behind your head.
Have you ever tried anything yourself? Like, do you
Nope.
just
No.
have you?
I tried like, you know, Shazam, you know, go webs go, everything. Nothing happened, you know.
Yeah.
I tried fireballs, you know, because I played D&D at one point, but yeah, nothing's happened. It's so disappointing, man, you know. But I can see stuff, and I can get in here. I don't even normally need my capsule, you know. I can normally get in here, no problem. But I was so worked up when you guys attacked me, and I put the shutters down. I got my tablets out because it kind of heightens you for that short time, and I just came straight through. But I come here all the time.
You said, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was saying, you said Alan is also here. Like, how long has he been coming here?
He's been here since the beginning, since he made it. He can't get home now.
Has he shown any powers?
Well, he made this place. But something happened to him. I asked him about it once, but he got really angry, so I'm not, you know, I just do my own thing. I sometimes go and see him, but we don't, you know, because I feel sorry for him because he seems a bit lonely, you know. But he made this place. He was a painter. Amazing artist.
Bob Ross. Well, maybe we go.
He painted this cabin. He painted this cabin that I'm living in.
And how do you get the food? Does he create that? Or do you...
I can bring stuff with me, but I don't bring any techie stuff. But well, I sometimes bring my watch by mistake, but time's different here.
Yes.
So if you were to go home now, probably about 18 hours will have passed.
Really?
It's crazy. So I've got to be careful because I've got a job, you know. Sometimes I just come here for the night, you know, and the night is like 2 or 3 hours the most, and I need to go to work. But then I only do certain days, so I've got a couple of days off here and I do different shifts. But Alan is not. He looks quite sad. He's just not the same as it used to be, you know.
Is he friendly? Like, did he?
Yeah, as long as you talk to him carefully.
What was it that you did that he gave this to you as a gift?
Well, I don't know if he meant it as a gift for me, but he lets me stay here. So, because we've been friends for like we were at uni together, but he was in the arts. He was doing art, and then he got some award, and
and Alan's not one of them.
No, I tried talking to him about it once, and I tried talking to him about it once, but he got really angry because I began to ask him about how he was able to make this place. But I don't think he can get out. He can't get out. Even if he went home anyway, he would freak people out, you know.
Well, Professor Kane, I'm sure I speak for my friends and I when I say that I think we've very much got the wrong end of the stick we had kind of assumed that you were some sort of mob drug dealer type. I'm sorry for what happened to your house.
Oh, what did you do to it?
Well, I made some extra doors.
Yeah, I know. I
I'll
shot one of them.
I'll try my best to fix it.
Oh, that'd be great.
But I'll apologise in advance that my abilities are new and I don't entirely know how to use them, and they can be rather unpredictable. So
Well, I thought you guys were going to attack me. So when I saw you,
we thought you'd kidnapped our friend.
who's your friend?
He was in your trunk.
I felt kidnapped.
What were you doing in my trunk? Anyway, you're some kind of nut job.
Yes, some may say that, but
very agoraphobic.
What is your power traveling about in people's trunks?
Are
you a trunk hopper?
No, I actually will kind of like just show him a little bit of like what my power is, and I like lean over to like the crack between maybe the fridge and the wall, and I stick my hand into the shadow, and it just disappears into it, and then he feels a tap on his shoulder.
He's like, whoa.
And like the shadow, like from something from behind him had like formed a hand and like tapped him, and it like kind of went right back into the, like when he, enough for him to see, the hand like just completely formed back into the normal shadow.
He's like, he said, see when you did that, your face went all dark and you had like little crazy little blinky eyes there. Like when you did that thing. That's some freaky shit, that.
Yeah.
Are you the Lord of Darkness and trunks?
Oh, Lord of Darkness. I like that one. Nah.
What about you? He points at you, Sam.
You know, that Vinzer just triggered that little competitive.
Here we go. Right, okay.
To move around a dartboard again.
Oh yeah, watch this.
Okay, so what are you going to do to impress him?
No, I don't think I will.
Vinzer's over to the side, like looking for like beer cans to stack up.
I mean, you've got Raj has melted a 2-seater. Vinzer's made shadows tap him in the shoulder and things like that. So what are you going to do? I mean, you realise he's quite in awe of the ability, of the abilities.
No, I'll just maybe step over to the door that's somewhat open and then just pull back an arrow and.
Right, so when you maybe do a kind of move like, and the bow appears, and before you even shoot at the arrow, when the bow appears, he's like, "Whoa, that is awesome!" He says, "Let me see it. Can I hold it?"
It doesn't quite work that way.
And then you fire a few arrows off.
I'll shoot one of the coconuts out of the trees.
He's like, "Good." He says, "See those ones over there? Shoot 2 or 3 of them because they're ripe."
Yeah.
And he's pretty impressed. He's like, he looks kind of a little bit young. His actual age is probably like 35, 36, something like that. But when you start doing all this stuff, especially the kind of arrows and shooting coconuts off of trees and things, he's got a kind of boyish look in his face, and he's like as if he's afraid to ask, but he goes, kind of whispers maybe to you a little bit, Sam, maybe so the others can hear, but could you guys train me to have powers?
I don't think it works that way. I'm not sure even any of us understand how it works.
Oh, we're trying to find someone who could maybe explain it to us, I think.
Well, I've got an idea because time's going on. You realise it's another day at home. And when you look outside, you realise it's got quite a bit darker already. And you want to take that? And sorry, just getting my tea break. And he says, I'll show you how I get out of here. I don't know if it'll work for you guys, but I know how I get out of here. So you kind of feel like, you know, he actually thinks you're quite cool, you know, and it's not what he expected at all. He said, just be careful talking to Alan, but I think that maybe he'll be able to give you the answers. I just don't know what I'm going to do anymore. Because I've been told, I sent a message on the tablet to say what had happened at the square. I got a message back saying they knew about it and it was going to be contained. And then I was told to continue with the dosage for the other guys at the club. That's where I was before you guys saw me at my apartment. Before that dude came out, the Lord of Darkness jumped out my trunk.
So, hypothetically speaking, what if somebody tried to open that tablet 3 times?
Oh, did you try and do the fingerprint?
Yeah.
They probably took a video of you.
Okay.
I was told if anybody other than me tried to open it too many times, it fired up the. It's all like it's high tech stuff, you know. It's probably streamed some video.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So come on. I'll show you how I get home.
Yeah.
Right. And when you walk out, that spiral galaxy is now in view again, and it's spinning slowly. And he stops and looks at it. He says, "This is amazing." He says, "I just love being here, but it doesn't go on forever. It just kind of fades out eventually."
Ah.
He says, so he takes you on a hike. You know, he says, "Here, grab a drink or whatever, and you know, fills a couple of flasks with water or whatever." And he says, "You know, let's go." And you carry out. You go kind of walking on the other side of the trees, on that kind of higher ground. Takes you down a little trail, and then it starts to get rocky. And he says, "That's the cave just up there." He says, "I'm going to climb over the back of the cave, and I'll show you how I get out of here. If you want to try it, I'll see you back at the apartment, or you can go and talk to Alan." So he climbs up, and he says it will take me a few minutes. So probably about, you know, if you hang about for 15, 20 minutes, eventually he's right on the top of the ridge above there. And he holds his hand up and he goes, "Cowabunga," and he runs and he jumps off the edge of the cliff and right into that spiral galaxy and disappears. Gone.
That was quite impressive.
How did he think to jump into that?
Probably going to.
So what do you guys want to do?
Well, I think we should go and talk to Alan.
He probably doesn't even have to say cowabunga. It's just jumping, but it sounded cool.
Mm.
You think maybe for a moment, maybe that's his way of being a superhero, you know?
Listen, I'm going to still say cowabunga because I want to make sure I'm getting out of here.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, there is a chance that if you don't say cowabunga, you might break your neck. So
when you look down below where he jumped off, the kind of promontory, you know, at the top of the edge of the cliff, it is quite rocky and dangerous. So if you don't go through, you go down.
What?
Is there a pile of skeletons?
No.
flawlessly painted skeletons.
Okay, so are you, what's the choice? You know, this is like a choose your own path adventure. Do you want to jump off the cliff and shout Cowabunga? Turn to number 275. Do you want to go to the cave? Turn to 18.
Let's go to 18.
I want to go to the cave.
Cool.
Okay.
You go into the cave, and there is Jeff. I'm going to ask you to do a picture, if that's okay. If you just, I'll give you a minute or two to get it ready anyway. If you want to look at it's one of my mystery picks, number 11. Anyway, so you go into the cave. As you go into the cave, you can see from somewhere, it's very dark, it's like pitch dark, but you can see like some kind of little shaft of light in a different distance. It's not too deep, but maybe, I don't know, about 600 yards or something along that line. You kind of navigate down. It's quite rocky and sandy. The ground is actually sand, and it's rocky. And don't if you've got have you found that yet?
Sorry, I have two. They're just labeled 1 and 2. Is that?
Oh, it must be number 1 then. It's a cave scene. So, you don't. Are you putting it up, or are you holding fire now?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. You see amongst the sand, when you get down to the bottom of the cave, the light's coming in, and you hear the voice first. And he's talking to himself. And as you get closer, you realise there's a luminosity kind of thing about him, or luminous aspect to him. And there is furniture about the sand in the cave, like you can see there in the picture. And he is quite clearly not fully human, because you can see quite clearly through some of him, He's like an X-ray out of Mortal Kombat. And he looks like he maybe should have hair, but he's bald looking and quite wispy. And he's chatting to himself and moving around the place. And then he's like, before he sees you, he looks up and he goes, "Who's in here?" And then he looks over at you and kind of starts to float towards you. Vinzer, you feel as if you can hear whispers in the dark.
Unexplained whispers.
Yeah. It's not making any sense, but it's you remember do you remember way back, just like about 4 days ago, when you were on the top of a building and you were looking down and all that craziness was happening, and there was a moment where you heard those whispers. That was the last time you think you probably heard it. Although you've heard it from time to time, but it's like, it's really strong in here, even though you're not hearing it specifically. But when he speaks to you, it's like you hear an echo of whispers. It's as if it's a chain reaction of him. He's like, "Who are you? Who are you? How did you get here?"
We don't know how we got here, but we've spoken to Daniel.
Oh,
and
where is he?
told us to go. He's just left. He's just gone back to the other world.
Yeah, I know he can do that. But how did he bring you?
No, we just sort of we came in by accident.
Well, nobody's ever come in here before.
We think you we think you might be like us.
he looks down at himself, and he looks down kind of through his rib cage, and he's like, "I'm afraid I'm not like you. I'm not so lucky."
I mean, in that we have these abilities, and sometimes we're not entirely sure how we use them.
Did they do experiments on you?
I'll look to the other two and I'll say, I don't think so. It just sort of happened.
Oh.
It's all quite recent and very confusing, but we managed to find each other. We were hoping to find out more about this and try and understand what it is that's happened to us.
Did you go to the school? The School for Bright Talents? Did you go there?
I know.
I didn't.
Was that? Did you at one time look like us back in, I don't know what to call it, the real world, the regular world?
He starts to sob. I was normal. Like you. I was an artist.
A very good artist.
I know, but what's the point now? And he turns around, and behind him is an easel, and you can see there's actually paintings just lying scattered about the sand and the floor. There's probably like 100 or more just lying scattered about, and they're awesome looking. He says that, but I won like a scholarship, and I went to school, and I've come to think that's how they found out about me, because my paintings are kind of special, you know, like they move.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was invited to go to the school, and then somebody came to speak to me and talked about how I had special ability, and they wanted to try an experiment, and they wanted me to. Well, I used to hang out with Daniel, you know. I mean, sometimes we used to dabble a little bit, you know, in substances, and they said that they had a drug that could heighten my consciousness, and I was to paint, and so I painted this place, and he's kind of, you see wee ghostly tears going down his face, and then just outside, and it doesn't sound like far away because you're in the cave and it kind of echoes, you hear a rumble of thunder as if it's going right across the sea, you know. Now you can't see it, but do you know that way when the clouds roll in over the sea and it's like a big massive cloud, because you can almost feel it, you know. Exactly.
Sorry, I haven't eaten for a while. Thanks.
And he says, those scum experimented on me. They didn't want me to have powers, they wanted to use my powers, and then that thunder breaks out again, and this time you feel it.
Who are they, these people?
They were from some organisation funded by some big business or something like that.
Are they the same, and they're the people who make this drug?
I don't know, but somebody came to see me in the school. That's how they got in touch with me. Then they took me to this place. They promised me all this. They promised me they could develop my art to another level. They promised me that my art could be some kind of experience that people had never had before. And then it starts. You can hear this kind of tension rising. And he said, I thought it was liberating at first, but I want my body back. And then the thunder goes outside. You can almost feel the air pressure changing, just as obviously the skies are changing overhead. He says, my body is probably still there in that place, in that lab. Or worse, a mindless fool, or dead. And then he breaks down, starts crying.
Sam, what was that business? Someone came in your bar before about someone that was missing.
Yeah, one of my buddies. Yeah, it was very vague, but I didn't think of that.
And he suddenly shouts out, my body is probably rotten in that lab or in some grave now. But she trapped me, that spider caught me in its web, that devil creature. I'm gonna kill them all! And his eyes are like blazing red, and the whole place vibrates as thunder shakes. And see the furniture that you see scattered about in that image, the stuff begins to fall over, and there's a set of drawers, and the drawers, like a kind of haunted set of drawers, the drawers are going in and out like that now.
Alan.
He turns to you and his eyes are like, literally there's like red light coming out of his eyes, like...
Just try to focus for a moment.
What are you doing here in my place?
We came in by accident, but we're people like you. We have abilities like yours. And these people are hunting people like us. Please try and think for me. Is there anything you can remember about them, or where they took you, or any names? Perhaps you said that someone came and took you from the school.
Yeah, they took me to the lab. They said it was an experiment with my art.
Alan, could you, if it's not too painful, do you think you could paint them for us?
You see he's trying to contain himself, and he takes this big deep breath in, and when he breathes in and out, like the cave inside, the cave walls warp, go boom, like that, and bounce a bit. It's like, in Vinzer, you feel it really strong. You feel like the darkness in the cave is getting deeper, and it's almost like flexing, like a muscle. And you realise it's mirroring the emotion of what he's going through, I tried to paint them before and it didn't work. And he's breathing, he's trying to control his temper.
Do you know a man named Keaton? Does that sound familiar?
He just looks at you blankly and says no.
What about this spider you talked of? Who's that?
She was in the lab, but she caught me and put me in here. I think it was her that put me in here. I tried to, when I realised that when I was painting this place, I could feel myself getting drawn into it, and I got scared. And when I turned around, this lovely lady, when I turned around, it wasn't a lady, it was some kind of creature, and she had I was in a web, and the web was the web was attached to me, and then suddenly he's going into a rage now. And he's like, it sucked me into this place. And I left my body, I saw my body fall to the ground, and I came in here. And then he starts crying. He just breaks down sobbing. He's like a mess. It's quite surreal seeing a see-through ghost in such an emotional state. You hear outside, suddenly, the rain's coming down like on sheets, you know. How about we say as the rain comes down, so the curtain comes down on our episode. Is that good for you, Vinzer?
Yeah, that's good.
And so before you, as we leave the scene, the ghostly form of Alan is kind of just cooled down. And you see that he's flickering, like as if he's fading out a little bit. And the rain's pouring down. And the last thought that enters your head is, are we ever going to get out of here? And so we finish the episode. Thanks for anybody that's joined us watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time for City of Mist when the world breaks.